Okay, let's continue with the implementation. We have left in the game class. So the game constructor, we constructed the game with the users, players, and then their indexes, etc. And then we have created the deck. So for the play hand, we actually shuffled the deck and deal all cards to the players and call the bidding stage. Let's finish the bidding stage. In the bidding stage, we should ask each player to make their bid. So let's, for integer I equals 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, and then we actually for each player, players I, then they should make their bids. So if they make their bids, then we get actually the bid number. So then we can actually print the bid. So let us s out players dot make bid. So, and also we can write player and index, player I plus 1, and then bid, players bid. Okay, so for the user, for the human player, it will be not player's bid. So in that case, we can, if we want, we can do something like this. If the player's I instance of computer player, so we write something like this. Otherwise, it's directly actually the human player will make the bid. Okay, so that's actually for the bidding stage. So if the bidding stage is completed, then we actually do the play turn. So in the play turn, actually, we each player's play will complete it. So then let's do something like this. For integer I equals 0, again, I less than 4. So we actually increment the player index each time. But the player index should be circular. So we should do something like this. Player index equals player index plus 1 mod 4. So that's actually for the player index. And then other than that, so we should call the players player index actually then play. So where is the play card? So here is the play card. So in this case, we should say if it is first player or not. So in that case, we can do something like this. We can put it here, and then we can put this also here. So in that case, we can say this is the first player, and the other ones are not first player. They are false. But other than that, we should also know the followed suite. And then we should also know if the suite is broken or not. So this is actually a little bit complicated because we should know if the suite is broken or not. So in that case, how can we know that the suite is broken or not? The suite is broken if a spades is actually played. So in that case, when the player plays a card, we get the card, and then we need to check if it is a spade or not. And if it is a spade, then the suite is actually broken. So then and also we need to know that the suite is broken is according to the hands. So in that case, the hand, we need to have either a global variable, which should be sent to the play turn, and if possible, is updated according to the spade or not, or we can create an actually a class variable such as suite broken, and then that can be then sent to the play turn. So there are two possibilities, and then the suite broken should be initialized where in the beginning of the hand to false, and then you actually call the suite broken with here. So, and then let's say this is the suite broken, and then we should actually display the cards plate. So in that case, what we can do is we can have a card here, or plate card, let's say, and then that plate card will be returned by this. And the first player suite is unimportant. So in that case, we can just say any suite, in that case, hearts. And then the player's suite should be the followed suite. So let's also define the followed suite here. Followed suite, and then the followed suite will be the plate cards suite. And then that's actually followed suite. For the remaining players, they should play the followed suite. And then we also need to check if the plate card is spades or not, so that we can actually know if the suite is broken or not. And then we also need to know which card is actually the best. So then how can we know that? We have actually two options. One possibility is actually to compare each plate card with the card played previously. And then another possibility is we can actually have a deck, something like that. And then in the deck, we will get the, let's say, the best card. So in that case. So there are two possibilities. So we can also somewhat create a new class, such as ground or something like that. Actually, a possible deck where the players can put their cards. So there are multiple alternatives in this case. So let's do one alternative, which means let's make this part complex. So what will we do? The first thing we should do is we should check if the plate card get suite equals spades. So in that case, then the suite broken will be true. And then we also need to do the same here. So if plate card gets suite equals spades, so in that case, the suite is also broken true. So this is actually for the suite broken. And then we should also display the card to be played. So in that case, we need to write display as out actually the card. So the played card to string actually. So remember, the played card to suite to string is something like this. So and then we also need to print actually the played card also to string. So at the end also we should print empty, so that we can go to the next line. So let's compare what we have done. So the first player actually played the card, and then with given suite broken and suite hearts, and then we check if the get suite equals spades, so that suite is broken or not, and we print the card to the screen, and then we actually get the followed suite, and then we increment actually the player index actually. So then we continue with the next card. So the card is played, and then the suite is broken or not, and it is printed. So as you see, the same code repeats again and again. So in that case, we can actually do this also something like a function, and also let's do it a function. Private, let's say card, and then single play, let's say. Single play, and then we have the player index. So in the single player index, also we should do something like this. So the played card is this. If it is then sweet broken, then we have this. So then that's actually something like this. And then we have actually card, played card. And so that's actually can be done something like this. Cards. And then we can actually return played card. So then we can say single play, player index, and then we can get rid of this. So which is actually this followed suite. And we should also give that to this as a parameter. So now this is followed suite. So then we can actually call the single player with the followed suite. And then this will be closed. So the user will play the first player. And then actually we should also give it as a first player. So first player true, first player here, and first player false. Okay, so that's actually the thing we do. So each player will do a single play and follows the follow suite. And then we get the follow suite. And the player index is mode 1 incremented, and then we have the single play, and at the end we system out print line. So the only thing remaining is we need to find out the actually so also played card here. We should have a winner card, so and winner index. So let's say winner card. So let's do this winner card, and then winner card, and then this is played card. So, and then we also need to know winner index, which is actually in that case player index. And then we should compare the winner card with the played card. So if played card compared to winner card is positive, so in that case winner card is now played card, and then with the winner index is actually now player index. So, and at the end we return actually winner index. So that's all for play turn. Hopefully we will see if it works. Actually, let's control it. So we have the winner card, where at the beginning the first player's card is with the winner card, and then we have the follow suite, and then the other players will play the card. So actually it will be from 0 to 3, not 0 to 4, and then we actually play the cards one after another. Okay, so play turn is almost completed. So let's come back to play hand. So each time the player play turn is played, and then we have the first player, and then at the end the play hand is actually completed. So then let's go to the actually play game. So in the play game, we actually need to initialize, we need to play hand, but the play hand will play full hand, let's say full 13 possibilities. But while the game is not over, you do this again and again. So in that case, you should at least play one hand. And then while not game over, you actually play hand again. And then at the end, you have the winner of the game. So player, winner, and then you can write, let's say, winner of the game is, let's say, winner name, which is actually get name. So we need to actually write a get name for the player so that we can display it actually. So string get name and then return name. So let's come here, winner get, not get points, get name. Okay, so that's almost completed. So let's look at what is going on. We play one hand, and when we go to the play hand, we have the first player 0, and then the suit is broken false, and then the deck is shuffled. The cards players are dealt, and then bidding stage, and then you have first player turn, etc., etc. So the point is, okay, we are doing this, but can we see actually the player, what is going on? So what we can do is we can display after each turn the player's situation. So then what we can do is after each turn or before each turn, we can display the cards of the player. So let's also do that. So for that reason, we will do something like this. For integer I equals 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. And actually, we can do this also before the after shuffling. So in that case, maybe before bidding stage, so that we can see what is going on in that case. Okay, so then for that reason, let's write a play. Actually, let's write display for the deck, which we actually didn't have written. Actually, not display deck, so display players. So let's call display hand. Do we have display hand here? Here we have toString actually. And then do we have in the player display hand? Yes, we have the display hand. So in that case, we can write here something like this, where here we can say, okay, let's write a private method, write void display deck. So in that case, what will we do is we will display every user's hand. So I goes to 4, I plus plus, and then players I display hand. So that will be the display deck, and then before the bidding stage, we will display deck, and then after each play, we also display deck. And also, if possible, after each play, we can also display the deck. So in that case, or we may not, depending on the situation. Okay, so that's almost completed. We display the deck. We will check if it will be correct or not, depending on the situation and on the run. So we have the bidding stage, we have the single play, we have the play turn. So we display the deck, and then the bidding stage appears. In the bidding stage, you print the players, etc., and then we do the play turn. Okay, so then this is almost finished. So let's continue with the computer player. because they are actually missing, we did the thing. So for the AI part, we will talk in a separate hour. For this case, we will do it very basic, very, very basic. What do we mean very, very basic? In this case, we will actually play random. And for the bit, we will give a very simple rules. So in that case, what will we do is for hand, we will get let's say some points, some as a sum of the ranks of an hand. So let's do that. We will utilize this in the bidding stage. So hand size. So what we are doing in the computers AI for the bidding stage is we will sum of ranks. So we have the sum 0, and then we have sum plus equal hand dot get I dot get. Then we have the get rank actually. So let's see, we have public int get rank. So we have return rank. So for this case, get rank, but the problem is, the only problem is ace is of rank 1. So which is actually not correct because ace has the largest rank. So in that case, we can do something like this. If hand get rank is 1, then sum plus equal 14, else and in that case, the ranks, the cards. So we have that. I need to remember in the deck how to initialize the deck. Yes, we are initializing actually the deck with like this. Okay, and then otherwise sum plus equal hand dot get e dot get rank. So at the end, we will return the sum. Okay, so we can actually make it simpler with this. So then in the computer player, we check the so integer sum of sum, let's say, the hand sum of ranks. So depending on the sum, we need to, let's say, give a bit. So on the average, we can give a bit of 2 or 3. So let's do something like this. If the sum is something like, on the average, what can be, let's say the average card value is 2 to 14, 16, 8, and then 8 times 330. So 8 times 13. You have 13 cards, so which means 104. So if it is smaller than 104, then you return actually something like 1. So if you have small card sum, you return 1. Then other than that, you can do something like this. We subtract from 104 and then divide it to, let's say, 2 actually. So if all of them are aces, then no, it can't be 14, 14. Let's say, let's do the sum. If we have 4 aces, and then we have 4 kings, let's say, then we have 4 queens, which is almost impossible, and then 1. So in that case, we have about okay, 130 for this 56. Let's make it 56 plus 42 plus 48 plus 11. So this gives us 90, 100, 157. So which means 53 over, let's say 3, something like this. So return something like this. Okay, so it won't be a very good bit, but it will be something, let's say. Okay, so that makes it to 4 so that we will bit not too much. And then for the play card, it will be something like this. We will play a random card, and then if the card is against the rules, so then it will give us a wrong point. So we need to check cards. So that's actually given here. So we will, let's say, randomly take a card. So integer card index, and then the card index will be random. Okay, let's also initialize a random random equals new random random dot next int with the hand size actually. So while check card index actually the card is hand get card index. So first player, what was the parameters? Suite broken and followed suite. While not check card, you directly return a new card. And then other than that, you return actually the random card. So which is hand dot get card index. Okay, so what we do is we actually randomly give a card, and then if the card is against the rules, we will create a new card. So after some time, the program will play at least something. And then what we missed is actually when we play the cards should be removed from the player, which we haven't done actually. So let's go to the play turn. So when we single play with the player index, actually we should actually remove it. So players, player index, remove. Oh, so not add card. So remove card. We should do remove card. Okay, so let's put a remove card in the hand. Okay. So void remove card. So hand remove card. Okay, so in that case, in the hand, we don't need to remove card with index. Let's get rid of that. And then that's remove card, player card. Okay, so that's actually for removing. We may have missed something. We cannot know for sure, but we have removed the cards. So the computer player makes a bid, and then we have its name. So let's compile it. Okay, so in that case, let's give some control, very fast control. So we have the suite, which represents the suites of the cards, spades, hearts, clubs, diamonds. We have the card, we have the suite and rank of the card. Suite and rank, it's actually constructor. And we compare the card with the second card. If the first card is spades, the next one is not spades, we return 1. If the first one is not spades, the second one is spades, we return -1. If the suite is not equal to the card 2 suite, other case, we return 1. If the rank is actually 1, which is actually ace, then we return 1, or the card 2's rank is 1, we return -1, and otherwise, if the rank is larger than card 2's rank, we return 1, and otherwise we return -1. So we check if it is a trump or not. The suit equals spades, get suit, get rank, get thirds. And then for toString, we have clubs, hearts, diamonds, and spades, C, H, D, S. And then for rank, we have A for ace, jack, queen, king. And then for 10, you have T. Otherwise, it is without plus rank. So card is finished. So let's continue with the player. So in the player, we have player's name, player's points, player hand, player tricks, player bit. So we have two abstract methods, which is the make bit, which should be implemented in both human and computer players. We have a play card where we should give if it is first player or not, if the suit is broken or not, and if what is the followed suit. And then we have the player, which is a constructor, which has a name, and the points is initialized to 0 when we play initialized. For the calculate points, we have the tricks is larger than 100, and in that case, that's it. And here we actually should make a modification because there is a nil bidding. If the bid is 0, and then if the tricks is 0, so in that case, you add actually 100. Otherwise, you actually directly get -100. So then other than that, we check the bid. So that's actually for the nil bidding, which we actually missed. So that's for the nil bidding. So for the initialize game, we initialized the hand. Actually, we didn't initialize the game for the players. So it's not used actually. So we made a mistake in this case. So we need to initialize actually the player's hands. So which means let's go to the game and initialize the player's hand. So we have deal all cards players. So in the player, we should initialize it. So that's actually here. So for integer I equals 0, I less than 4, I plus plus, players I initialize game. Okay. So actually initialize hand, we can write it initialize hand, something like that. Okay, refactor, rename, initialize hand actually. Okay. So then we have the get points, we have the get name, we have the remove card, we have add card. So in this case, we also didn't utilize the calculate points, so which we actually missed. So in that case, we should calculate points, so which we didn't do, which means after not each hand actually. So in the game, we play the hand, and afterwards we need to calculate actually points. So we need to calculate points. So if we initialize the hand, deal all players, display deck, building stage, play turns, and then we calculate the points actually. Okay, so let's come back. So it's at least used once. So initialize hand, get points, get name, display hand. So which is not used, which is not good. So let's go to game. Where is display hand? So it is actually here. So we need to print it here like this, S out. So then that's actually done. We have the check card is always inverted. So this is not important. So for the check cards, we have follow suite, etc. Let's go to computer human player. So the human player, we have the make bit. So in that case, we enter your bit. and then you enter your bit, and then we say enter the correct bit. So in that case, that's for the entering correct bit, and then you get the bit. And then for the player play card, you enter your card index, and then we check if the card is correct or not. If it is not correct, then you enter the correct index, and then you continue like that. The index should be between 0 and hand size -1. So that's actually human player. So for the computer player, we have done that. So then let's continue with the hand and deck. Actually, deck, we have the deck. So we initialize the deck with 4 card types, and for each card type it's from 1 to 13. And then we shuffle the deck, and then we deal all cards. So each time we add the card to the player, and then we increment the player index by 1. Okay, so that's actually the deck. So then hand, we have the hand, and then we have add card, we have remove card, we have size, we have get card, we have contain suite in order to follow the suite if you have that suite or not. And then if it contains only spades, if it contains spades, you return false. And then we have the string. For each card, you add it to the string. And then we have the sum of the ranks, which we utilized in the computer player. Okay, so for the game, so let's control it from the start. So for play game, we have play hand. So each function is called once, so which is good. Okay. So play hand, while not game over, play hand. So this continues like that. And after the game is over, you display the winner of the game. So the winner of the game is calculated according to the max points. So if the get points is larger than max points, the winner is displayed. So it's like that. So for the game over, if any player's point is larger than 500, you return true. And let's come to play hand. So in the play hand, actually, you play one hand. So you have the first player 0 each time the first player will start. And then the seat is broken false. And then we shuffle the deck. And then we initialize the hand. So the cards, each player will have empty hand, and the tricks will be 0. So then we deal the cards to the players, and then we display the deck, and then we have the bidding stage. And then after the bidding stage is completed, we play the turn with the first player. And then the player, the next one will be the first player, and we display the deck. So then after the completed, you calculate the points. So for the play turn, we have, for the bidding stage, let's go to the bidding stage. In the bidding stage, we have, for if the instance is computer player, you just get the make bid. And otherwise, you also should call players I that make bid. So that's an we missed that. So for then the bidding stage is completed. So let's come to the play turn. So we have the followed suite hearts. We play a single card with the player index, which is actually in the beginning winner index. With first player true, followed suite is followed suite, which is hearts in the beginning. The followed suite is the winner's cards get suite, and then player index is incremented. We play 3 times. Each time you follow the suite. The player if the played card is better than the winner card, so in that case, winner card will be updated, winner index will be updated, and the next player will be set. And you print a line. So for each after each turn. So you also return the winner index. So that it can be used here. And then the single play, if the seat is spaced, it's broken. Otherwise, you print the played card. So in this case, maybe they will be displayed one after another. Let's look at it here. Yes, it will be displayed next to each other. So therefore, we can put a space here. You remove the card. So that's actually all. So that's all. Okay, so we let's run the code. Okay, so let's run the code. When we run the code, actually, we see first enter your name. So we enter our name, Olcay, and then enter the player index, which is actually in the beginning 0. Then we see Olcay and the computer's cards. So as you see, the cards are not sorted in terms of suites and ranks, so which actually is not good. So then in that case, let's check the bit stage. The players' bits are, as you see, 3113, and then the play starts. So in that case, let's play, for example, spades first, which in that case you cannot play spades at the beginning. So let's play a club, and then you see I played club 8, and the second player plays club queen here, and the third player plays club king, and the fourth player plays club 3, and then the computer 2 wins, and then computer 2 players played diamond 3, and then the other one played diamond king, and it goes like that. Okay, let's finish here and then change only the sorting of the cards, because in order to display it a little bit better, we can actually sort our hands. And we only need to do this sorting only once. So in that case, let's write a sort method here. So public void sort cards. And then how do we do that? We basically, since we don't have too many cards, we can just utilize any kind of sorting. So let's do a dummy sort. So hand size I++, and then let's put it -1. So for integer, j equals 0, j is less than hand size, actually I+1 hand dot size, and then j++. And now we need to compare first the suites, and then if the suites are same, then the rank. So in that case, we can do something like that. If the, let's say, let's make this like this, card1 equal hand dot get I, and then you have card2, which is hand dot get j, and then we can say if card1 suite is larger than card2 suite, which is, as you see, is impossible because it cannot be applied. So in that case, what we can do is we can give numbers to suites, which is impossible, as we remember. So in that case, what we can do is we can give a comparison, such as let's say we can do, let's say spades is larger than that, etc., etc. So we can write a comparator in the card, or we can do it here. So both of them are possible. Although we have a comparator in the card, we can also implement comparator. So let's implement comparator, and then the comparator, we can do this. Okay, so in that case, we can do like card compare not. Actually, we can do, if we do like that, how do we compare them? So card1 compare, yes, okay. So card1 compare card1 card2. So let's do like that, which is actually not a good thing to do, but let's make it card1 equals card object 1 and card 2, card object 2, and then if the card 1 suite equals card 2 suite, then you check if card 1's rank is 1, then you return 1, else if card 2 rank equals 1, you return -1, otherwise you return compare or integer compare card 1 rank and card 2 rank. Okay, so if the suites are equal, then you compare like this. Otherwise, what you do is else you just check like this. If card 1 get suite equals, we need to give an ordering for the suite. So if the card 1 suite is spades, then you return 1. Else if card 2 suite equals spades, then you return -1. So if the suite is spades, you directly win. Otherwise, depending on your comparison. So let's do, instead of this, we can, for example, actually convert the suite to numbers. That's also a possible strategy. We are actually increasing the complexity. Let's do like this. Okay, so if the card 1's suite equals, in that case, hearts, then we return 1. Else if card 2 suite equals hearts, you return -1, and the same if card 1 suite is the next one, which is clubs, you return 1, otherwise you return -1. So that should give you unrelated problem. If the card compare is less larger than 0, you actually switch places of the card. So collections, swap, and you have hand, you have I, you have J. So we have the sort cards. Then let's go to where we have the hand here. We have sort cards. So when do we sort cards? Actually, when the player does sort cards. So actually when the we initialize hand. No, not initialize hand, because we add them. So in the game, before, in the playing hands, you initialize hand, you deal all cards. Now here actually you should players sort cards. So in that case we need to players so here we need to do something like this, sort cards. So we need to put actually here and again as sort cards. So void sort cards. So hand sort cards. Okay. So let's reboot again. Let's run it. So let's enter our name, Olcay, and write our index, which actually didn't work. Okay, so what did we do wrong? So actually, if the card is card one, compare card one, card two, collection swap. So let's look at if the suite equals, if card ones equals spades, spades, if the card one suite is equal to spades, and in this case you return the first one is larger, and otherwise if the card suits equals spades, so that's actually we did a very small mistake. So we actually compare the cards here. We swap the cards, but the card one is actually fixed here. So what we should do is it will be something like this. Okay, so let's run the code again. So let's enter our name, Olcay, and then enter our index 0. So you see diamond, clubs, hearts, and spades. So we have many spades. So let's give it 3 orbit. The third ones, the player 3's bid is also 3. It's good. Okay, so let's start with diamond so that we can block the suite first. So then we win actually. So that's good. Let's then play the club, and then actually the second player, the third player, the computer 2 wins. So then actually we can write who wins. So that will be actually a little bit better. So let's also add that in the game. So after each player, you display, before displaying the deck, you can write system output winner of the turn, so which is the first player. Actually, not first player. Maybe we can write players, first player, and get name. Okay, that could be a better idea. So let's see, Olcay 0, enter or bid, let's say 1, and let's say we play diamonds, 0 small diamond. So winner of the turn is computer 2. So now the computer 2 played h6, ace, and we need to play an h, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can play card index, and then so winner of the turn is computer 3 with yes, actually he played HS. So computer 3 worked diamond 5, and then what can we play? We can win the game by entering diamond ace. So winner of the turn is Olcay. Then we can directly play H king, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can win it again. And then maybe we can win with diamond 7. No, the computer 3 wins. And we need to play clubs, which is club J. In that case, computer 2 wins with club ace. So he played spades, spades 3, spades 2, because the suite is already broken. Suite 2, we need to play spades. So which we can do 5 with 5. And then we win. Let's play again spades. In that case, the computer win. He plays again spades. Let's get rid of small diamonds. He played heart 3, where we can have a chance of HA, but he played spades. And then he played clubs. We need to move clubs, and then again clubs. Let's play diamond, and then we need to play H7, which is winner of the turn. Computer 1, and the board is finished. So in the last run, we don't need to display the cards. So in that case, we can also modify that. So let's go to win. So if for the last round, so if I is not 12, then we display the deck. So in that case, that will be better. And then we can maybe, when calculating the points, we can also display the points, so which could be better. So let's say points, current point, let's say current point is 100, current point is minus 100, current point equals this, current point is equals to this. And then we can add the points, current point, and we can display actually point, actually name of the player plus something like this, and then current point, and then let's say we can also display all points, overall points. So we can display something like let's say we only display the points. Okay, that's actually the finish. Let's do it again. Let's start this time with 0. Give 1. So we need to play, in that case, what? 0. So winner of the turn is computer 2. Enter your card index. Let's play a diamond. Computer 1. Win. Let's play an heart. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we are here. We did wrong. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's play 5. Winner of the turn. So HA, we can win with ace. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we can win with queen. Oh, win with a spade. Oh, why? Because he didn't have an heart. Yes, he didn't have an heart. Enter your card index. So clubs, we need to play a club. Enter your card index. We need to play diamond. We need to play club, which could be 2. We couldn't win any game at all. So we can play 1 for heart. We can maybe play. Okay, computer 2 has a spade. Let's say this queen S7. Let's play small spade, so that we may have a chance then. But we should play a spade. So in that case, let's play spade 1. So heart 3. So in that case, maybe we can win. So, okay, we win. So enter your card index. So computer 1, 100. Computer 2, 100. Computer 3, 100. So why they are 100? Their bits are 1, which means actually we did something wrong. Okay, okay. So let's check it. So first of all, we didn't actually updated the tricks. So that's actually we forgot. So where will we do that? So when the player wins actually here, so in that case, we need to update its tricks. So players, first player, and how do we increment the tricks, basically? So we didn't write any code for that. So tricks, we need to have increment tricks. Okay, increment. Okay, so let's increment the tricks. So here we have increment tricks. So we didn't do that. So let's play again. We have Oljai. Let's play very fast. Let's make bit 1. Let's bit 0. Then 4, 5, 6, 2. Let's play random. 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again a spade. 7, 0, 0, 2, and 2, and 1, and 1, and 0. So Oljai 11, because we did 2, and computer 1 and computer 2, their tricks are not updated, or why did they get minus 100? So increment tricks, their bid is updated or not? Let's do the make bid, computer player. So actually we didn't updated the bid of the computer player. So in that case, we should do something like this. Bid equals 1, bid equals this, and then we return bid. Okay, so we didn't update the bits. So in that case, bid is 0. So let's finish again. Oljai 0, 1, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0, 2, 0, 1, and 0. So we get 13, computer 1, 12, 4, 7, 9, then that's okay. Okay. So we finished the game.